And welcome in to a new episode, a new edition of Ring Circus, the most fun Friday show that exists in the entire world. And today it's going to be extra fun because we've got a super special guest. It's not the music that's playing, but that could play the entire time. That could be our guest. But Ring Circus and all DNVR Broncos podcasts are presented by MSU Denver Online. Make sure you check out msudenver.edu/online to scope out all they have to offer. They have several different programs and classes that you can get into. And MSU Denver students work twice as many hours as students attending any other Colorado institution. So check out msudenver.edu/online today.
My boys, what's going on? I can't wait for this Ring Circus. I feel like when we made this show, guys, the perfect guest was Perna. I feel like we made this show for YouTube star Brandon Perna.
Yes, Ring Perna was the original name for the idea, and there he is. Yeah. What do you think of that name? Are you in on that?
Yeah, of course. Anytime you want to use my name in a title, you can do it. And anytime you create a new show, even if I'm not actually supposed to be a part of it, I want you to think how I can fit into that show. And I also realized, so we decided last second to also stream this on my That's Good Broncos channel. So now the title on my own YouTube channel is YouTube star Brandon Perna and the game called Two Lies in It. So the most pretentious title I could have come up with. So
that is fantastic.
Very good.
So perfect. But it actually seems like something you would do in an ironic way.
Yeah, ironic for sure.
Hey, by the way, what's with the just retire Brady handle? I mean, I've got the Bucks helmet over here, and he's made them relevant for the first time in a generation. I'm not going to go buy a Tom Brady jersey, but that's fighting words for me, man.
No, he didn't make them relevant. Bruce Arians did, and they're scouting.
Hence their 7-9. Yeah, hence their 7-9 record in Bruce's first year. Yes.
Oh yeah, just drop those 30 Jameis Winston picks, and they're a contender. I was just writing about them today, and what they've done in free agency in the draft the 3 years, incredibly impressive. And yes, Brady, any good quarterback would have made them better, but they've just hit on all of those things. And Brady obviously was like, yeah, they're good. I'm going to go there, and this is going to be easy. And he's like, we didn't even reach our full potential yet. He basically, I think, just realized he won a Super Bowl and he wasn't even playing his best football, which he believes he can play there yet. And he's like, oh yeah, I'll come back for not only next year, but the year after and maybe try to get 3.
Well, so what I understand, not music to your ears. Is that what I'm getting?
He just needs to retire. I'm so sick of seeing him win.
It's the NFC, though. Who cares? He's not bothering the Broncos unless the Broncos somehow get to a Super Bowl.
He bothers me. He bothers me. I'm happy that your team, got another Super Bowl win, Andrew. But I'm over it. I'm so over him.
Don't think of it as Brady winning. Think of it as Shaq Barrett winning. Think of it as Mike Evans winning. Think of it as Chris Godwin winning.
No, I had to.
Yeah.
It's funny because there's so many players in Tampa I actually really like. And he brings it all down for me.
I have to say, I won't mind him winning if the Chiefs are in it again. But if the Chiefs just decide not to employ any offensive tackles, then that could be difficult. Although, if anyone could do it, it's him.
Lucas Niang, baby.
The first thing I wanted to ask you before we get into our game here, Two Lies and a Truth, is what is your favorite part of the Melvin Gordon DUI body cam footage?
Oh, man, it's so good. It is. I think overall my favorite thing is just how, calm and collected Melvin Gordon is. You can tell he's drunk because he's not nervous. That's drunk level confidence right there. And I think him just being honest with the police, where he's like, look, guys, I play for the Broncos. I'm sure you realize that. And I'm in a position battle right now. I can't get in trouble. It was, I don't know. It honestly, it made me like Melvin Gordon more. As crappy as, nobody should be drinking and driving. We all realize that's a dangerous thing to do. You shouldn't do it. He's like, I usually have drivers for me to do this. My house is 3 minutes away. He's justifying driving drunk, but he's also being kind of like honest and vulnerable. And I don't know. I was like, he's just like a normal dude. Like, I want to go get drunk with Melvin Gordon now. Basically, I took away.
Vulnerable is the word, because he's sitting there and he's worried about his job. He's worried about Philip Lindsay taking his job. Yeah. That was the part for me. I'm like, oh my gosh, Phil was really in his head at that moment.
Yeah. He was. That's the first thing he thought about. It's probably why he was driving so fast. He thought Phil was running in his rearview mirror.
All the more reason to give Phil the second round tender, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think Henry said it best yesterday. He's like, it's really hard to become more likable during body cam footage with police, but somehow Melvin Gordon pulled it off. And it's exactly how I felt. I was like, oh, he actually seems like a really nice guy. Like I feel bad for him in this moment.
And I liked when they asked him, "What have you been drinking?" Pinot Grigio. Not what I expected.
He's got some high class taste though. Yes. Brandon, that's the thing. That he's had money for a few years. He's lived the LA lifestyle. When he last off season he was training in Southern California. He's clearly a big city LA guy. He may be from Kenosha, but he's not of Kenosha right now.
That sophisticated palate.
Yeah.
Who knows though? Could have been some $3 Chuck Pinot.
That's true, but I think he was probably at like Barcelona wine bar or something before he. All right, let's get this game rolling. It's called Two Lies and a Truth. We're gonna give you a quote or a series of quotes. Perna, you got to tell us which one is the real quote, and I guess consequently which two are not real. So let's bring up the first one here. Oh, that wheel is very tantalizing. All right.
So these were all things that, or maybe, but something that Von Miller said. So we have heck, the Denver Broncos are going to have to retire number 4 after what Case is about to do for this franchise. B, I envision a whole bunch of magical moments between me and Case, holding hands and dancing around the locker room. And C, I just can't wait for Case and I to retire as Broncos together someday.
Ooh, yeah, I don't remember any of these. That's good.
I think everyone has blocked out the Case Keenum era from their head.
Yeah, I mean, we just blocked out every year now. It's like Case Keenum era blocked out, Joe Flacco era blocked out, Paxton Lynch era blocked out. I think it's going to be like, if I'm just guessing on the way I think Von Miller might say something, I say the truth is A.
Oh, incorrect. Incorrect.
Do you have a second choice?
C.
Oh. That's actually
he
great.
envisions dancing around in magical moments.
That does sound like Von Miller, but to me, that sounded like you guys trying to sound like Von Miller, really? Picking that one, and you did. You tricked me good.
We definitely needed to have a wrong buzzer sound for when he got those wrong. That was a missed planning on our part. On Von Miller, Perna, from kind of the more fan perspective, how do you feel about his future with the Broncos? And are you starting to prepare yourself for life without Von, or are you trying to kind of hold on as long as you can here?
Yeah, I think it's like two things with Vaughn right now. The big thing is I think the Broncos are going to be able to restructure him. So I definitely want Vaughn to come back. He is the most Bronco that we have on the roster. He's been there the longest. He's done the most for the organization in terms of helping him win outside of maybe Brandon McManus at this point. So I want to see him retire in Denver. And like every year that goes by in the NFL, it seems more unlikely that players will play out their entire career at an organization. And depending on what happens now with guys like Russell Wilson and Deshaun Watson, like even quarterbacks you're unsure of. I mean, Tom Brady's in Tampa right now, right? So
Peyton.
I want to see him finish. Peyton Manning. We really just need the Colts to draft us our next quarterback so we can take that guy. But if Vaughn comes back on a better contract deal, I think he can still contribute to the team. I think even though it's an injury, I think he has something to prove. And usually guys of Von's talent level, when they feel like they have something to prove, play really well. So I would be excited to see him back here again. And yes, because the Kansas City Chiefs are literally only Mahomesing it for 2021 at this point. So yeah, bring it back.
For how long?
3 years at a really team-friendly deal, something like that. Because it feels like if he bounces back from this injury, he's got a couple good years left in him.
Right.
Probably 2 really good-ish, and then he'll maybe start to decline because of age, but that's just a guess, right?
Okay, but what do you think his willingness is to take that team-friendly deal, though? Because now that the stuff in Parker is off the table, he's clear. He probably looks at that JJ Watt contract, and Watt has dealt with so many injuries in the last 5 years, and says, I can get more than that if I'm on the market. It feels like Von holds the cards right now.
Yeah, based on one appearance on 104.3 The Fan, I would say those chances are 0.
So I actually have I spoke to a source about that actually recently, who framed it to me as if Von was not mad about the idea of taking a pay cut. He was mad about the setting in which the question was asked. So that's
fair.
Yeah. So, and I think that makes a little bit more sense as we have a new, better guest on the show now. I think that makes sense for him to be that way. And it's definitely more encouraging from a Broncos perspective. I trust the person I talked to. They said they had spoken with Bonds shortly afterwards, and it was much more about that. So take that for what it's worth.
That would be encouraging. I mean, now are we talking, from 18 a year to 15 a year? We talking to 10 a year? Because heck, sign me up for Von Miller, 3 years, $30 million for sure.
Yeah, if they rework, is his salary counted against the cap right now?
His salary, his salary is 18 million, but the cap's 22.
Okay. So if they rework him, they'll get more space this year for the cap, basically.
Yeah,
because they could.
Yeah, they could. I mean, if you could get a restructure, and it's all about converting some of the salary into bonuses perhaps. There's a way you could do that to kick the can down the road for next year. But I think if you're the Broncos, do you really want a contract where you're kind of kicking the can to 2022 while maybe he's not on the team in 2022? I think if you want to do a restructure, like you said, you've got to add 2 or 3 years to this thing. Yeah. Charlotte doesn't like my opinion on that, obviously.
I think for me, I think that yesterday had to be a big day for Von Miller in Broncos headquarters. I just imagine those coaches and George Payton sitting around and seeing the news that the Chiefs are letting go of their bookend tackles and just saying, like, my God, if we ever get to see the combination of Bradley Chubb and Von Miller, like, that's going to be what wins us a game against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. And it would be crazy to live in a world where the Broncos drafted Bradley Chubb to try to double down on pass rusher, and all we ever got was 4 games in which they totaled 0 sacks. Like, that, it's just crazy to imagine that world. And I don't think it's quite like a sunk cost fallacy type of thing, but there has to be some part of the Broncos that say, like, this was our plan. We got to see what it looks like.
Well, and Ryan, I think we have 70% of people agree with you from our pod poll yesterday of the Broncos thinking that.
Yeah, it has to be part of their thought process. All right, let's move on to the next set of quotes here. Let's see if Perna can get his stuff together.
Oh, wait, hold on. I wore this shirt today just to come on here.
Oh, that is beautiful.
All right, these are Gardner Minshew quotes. A, I'm a lean, mean football playing machine. B, my stash helps me read defenses. Or C, I'm 6'1", don't run very fast, and don't have a super strong arm.
Wow. I think it's C.
Nice.
Bingo! Nailed it.
Yeah.
That one sounds familiar, and I'm a big Gardner Minshew fan, and he is the one guy I think the Broncos should bring in for actual quarterback competition if they're going to bring in a quarterback that is not Deshaun Watson.
So then Perna, saying that, who wins the competition?
Don't talk dirty to me like that, Perna.
Oh, Gardner Minshew wins.
Yeah.
Easy. Basically, in my opinion, Gardner Minshew is Tom Brady on a terrible team.
Wow.
Well, so then, just drop the word competition. You're just bringing in him in here to be the dude.
Yeah, I think he's a good fit with Pat Shurmur, which 4 months ago I said nobody's a good fit with Pat Shurmur, but I think in college he was a good aggressive quarterback. Jacksonville has been terrible, and the way they tried to use him last year was weird, and the tank was weird, and he hurt his hand at some point. And the one thing he's done really well, which I think is always impressive for rookie quarterbacks, is he's been safe when throwing the football. His interception numbers are really low. And if you could change one thing about the Broncos offense last year, it would be turning those interceptions down. He doesn't have the arm talent of Locke. He's maybe as fast as Drew Lock. He's a little more elusive than you think, kind of like Ryan Fitzpatrick. Also the other guy I would accept here in Denver for a quarterback competition. But I'd be excited about Minshew. I think there's some potential there. He just needs to be in the right place, which is true for, I don't know, half of the quarterbacks in the NFL. Like, they can succeed with the right coaching and the right talent around him. And the Broncos, the one thing they have, offensive talent, is the only lure to try to get, a quarterback that like Deshaun Watson or somebody at this point.
Well, it's funny. We hear Sam Darnold talked about, and of course it's Darnold had nothing around him in New York. What did Minshew have in Jacksonville? And he was a lot better than Sam Darnold. The more I kind of make that comparison, I think, okay, if I'm trading for a quarterback, I'd rather trade for Minshew. Maybe you get him for a fourth round pick, or maybe a fourth and a fourth rounder, and then a fifth rounder next year. Maybe you throw another conditional pick in there. I think that actually makes more sense for the Broncos. And the other thing with Minshew, of course, in Jacksonville last year, things were messed up, but he was in an offense that had the same, nomenclature as the one Pat Shurmur runs. So it should be a smooth transition. And then it just becomes, what he does in the competition. And the fact that, like you said, he's a low mistake quarterback. I mean, his interception rate is in the top 5. I mean, top 5 in terms of a low rate over the last few seasons. And that's where I think he might allure himself to Vic Fangio and Pat Shurmur, because he doesn't make mistakes.
Yeah, and that's something Vic would absolutely love.
Perna, I'm a little bit worried, as a man who loves content as much as you do, that your opinion here is a little bit swayed.
It might be. Am I just waiting for him to do something weird with his hair to make a video about? Sure. Or to find shirtless photos of him to use for my thumbnails to trick people into watching the video? Of course. But I also think he's a good quarterback.
Yeah.
So Perna, maybe the most important question I think surrounding this for you is rank the facial hair of you, Gardner Minshew, and another guy you mentioned, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Ooh, I mean, okay. In terms of having the balls to do whatever you want, Minshew's number 1. But Fitzpatrick's beard you can't compete with. So I'll go Fitzpatrick, I'll go Minshew for creativity, and then I'll put myself down there. I just have a beard because I have a weak jawline. So mine is not cosmetic. It actually helps keep my forehead on top of my face.
Well, look at that. YouTube star Brandon Perna is
self-deprecating. Yeah. Is it any concern for you with Minshew that he wasn't able to break his own hand despite his own efforts? Are you familiar with the story?
Yeah, that might play into arm strength. Not enough arm strength.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if our listeners have all heard the story, but he was forced into a game when he was planning on redshirting, hoping he would get another year of eligibility at Eastern Carolina. And so he lost his eligibility. This was before the 4-game rule, where now you can play 4 games and still redshirt. But he didn't want to lose that season of eligibility, so he thought, I can get a medical redshirt if I just break my hand. This is a real story. He went home took a few swigs of Jack Daniels, grabbed a hammer, and started trying to smash his own hand. But according to him, he wasn't able to hit it hard enough to break it. So then his hand was just really swollen for a few days. And then he ended up playing 7 more games that season.
That's legend. That's a legendary move. I mean, just don't get him and Melvin Gordon in the same room doing Jack Daniels, because Melvin Gordon would have smashed his hand into a million pieces, I think. Like Melvin Gordon, every time I see him, like, man, that guy looks so strong. Like his arm muscles, he shouldn't fumble as much as he does with those biceps, is my point.
Maybe the bicep is like bulging out too much that he can't get like a nice grip on it.
Maybe.
All right, let's go to our next one here. Zach, I'll let you present this one.
All right. This is said by drum roll. Okay, these are things said about Ryan Fitzpatrick. 1, he's a hell of a quarterback. 2, when I see his beard, I go blind. And 3, 90% of the time, he can beat you. We just have to take advantage of the other 10%.
So this was said about him?
Right.
By who?
By a Bronco. By someone with the Broncos right now.
Oh. Man, I don't know. I'll say B.
Second guess?
I mean, C is very specific.
It is.
Yeah, do C.
No, it was a trick question to you. The easiest one was the right answer.
That you guys, I fall for the tricks every time.
Mace, who was it that said that?
Justin Simmons said it after the Broncos played the Dolphins back in November. And of course, that was the game when Miami was going nowhere. Fitz comes in, drives them downfield, they score, they get the ball back, and of course, it was Simmons that intercepted him in the end zone that night, of course. But I mean, the reality is, if they bring Fitz in, say 1 quarter earlier, the result of that game is probably different.
Yeah, he almost did to us what he did to the Raiders.
Yep.
So do you agree, Perna? Do you agree that he's a hell of a quarterback? I mean, it makes sense why Justin's saying that. Yeah. He just picked him off to win the game.
I think Fitzpatrick over the last 2 seasons has been a really good quarterback. He has this reputation, right, of being able to throw 5 picks and then the next week throw 5 touchdowns. And that was kind of like what was happening in Tampa. It happened in New York. But over the last 2 seasons, I feel like he's gotten safer with the football. His stats, like, you're not going to look at his stats and go, oh, yeah, this guy's dominating. But when you watch him play, like, he does things a smart veteran quarterback will do. And he is surprisingly elusive. He'll make plays with his legs, even though he's old. So I think he's developed into kind of an underrated guy. And he brings, like, that Jake Plummer energy to the field. Like, guys rally around Fitzpatrick. And yeah, so he's not always going to be the best player out there, but guys are going to go and play for him. The way I put it is like, I am the Ryan Fitzpatrick of NFL YouTubing. Like, 1 week, you're not going to know it, but I'm going to put out a video that does really well, and it's going to surprise even me. The next week, you're going to be like, why am I even subscribed to this idiot? Like, what? This thing just tanked. Like, it's inconsistent, but if I had to compare myself to an NFL quarterback, which I like to think about frequently while lying awake at night in bed, Fitzpatrick. I think that's the proper evaluation.
And tell me you have similar career earnings.
Oh, I wish.
All right. Let me ask you this, and this is a hypothetical, but I love hypotheticals like this. In 2016, the Broncos could have had Ryan Fitzpatrick. When Brock Osweiler left, he was sitting there, and then he ultimately signed a 1-year deal with the Jets. How would Broncos history have been different in the last 5 years if instead of trying to make Trevor and Sanchez and Paxton Lynch work, that they just signed Ryan Fitzpatrick, been willing to pay $12 million a year for a quarterback, and plugged him in with that team coming off the Super Bowl?
I think they probably have a couple winning seasons in there. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say like they would be winning playoff games for sure. It just depends on that's like one of those domino effect signings, right? It could affect so much, but I think we would have been happier as Broncos fans if Fitzmagic was in town the last few years.
Yeah. I think you're absolutely right about that. You mentioned Jake Plummer energy. Speaking of Jake Plummer energy, what was your reaction to the Drew Lock sideline video scandal?
Oh, I loved the scandal. I got to upload. I've got the clip out from my podcast here, but I'm just going to title the video "Drew Lock Hates Broncos Fans," and just wait for people to get angry about it. But in terms of a story, it's awesome. Like, it's one of those things that people are going to overreact to one way or the other. And I immediately tweeted, trade him. He's got too much Chiefs blood in him. Like something like that, being pretty sarcastic. And a lot of Broncos fans got upset with me thinking I'm serious. But like, I don't care how a player reacts on the sideline. Like, Will and I were talking about the crowd, very limited attendance, right? So I am sure he could clearly hear just some terrible things people are yelling at him from the stands. And I am sure he heard it all game, and he was not playing well. That was the Chargers game, right?
Yep.
Yeah. He was not playing well that game. And then he has one of the craziest, it was a very Tim Tebow fourth quarter. They get the win. And so, yeah, he's going to be pumped up. He's going to talk some smack back to the fans. I don't care. It doesn't change my opinion of Drew Lock, like, at all. Like, that is completely irrelevant to me. But if I can try to, stoke some fire about people getting upset about it, then it's awesome. But that's what we all liked about Drew Lock, right?
Yep.
Like, he has this energy, this likable energy, and when people see it used in a way that comes back at them as fans, and they're like, oh, your quarterback shouldn't be doing that.
That's exactly what my thought was on that, and I haven't talked about this on the podcast yet, but it's like, first of all, you have these guys playing this game that is like the ultimate rush of adrenaline. Like, they're like having to get so much adrenaline that they're willing to smash into other people at full speed, and they're just getting so amped up and so riled, and then you're screaming obscenities at them from the sideline, telling them how much they suck, and then they like overcome whatever obstacles were in front of them, and you just expect them to be like, oh, that was a very nice experience for me. You all have a nice day. Like, it's so dumb for people to get like mad about this dude just having like exuding emotions. After a moment like that. This game is all about emotion. So he got a little riled up and he had some fun with it. It's so silly to me that people are talking about this. And the last point I made was, if the Broncos were 10-6 this year and Drew Lock played well, everyone would be talking about how great this is. This is just another example of people had a reason to be mad about Drew Lock that day, and they were going to take it.
I don't know, though, but I remember people were upset when Jake Plummer did his little middle finger thing back in 2004, and the Broncos, hey, you know what? The stuff that was being yelled in was really nasty. I can't blame him for getting upset. But hey, at that point, Jake Plummer was on his way to taking the Broncos to the playoffs for a second consecutive year, and people still got upset. If people want to get upset, they will find a reason to be upset, regardless of how the team is doing. So.
And guys, another guy that plays with a ton of passion, and you get clips of him on the sideline playing with passion and yelling things, is Brandon Perna's guy, Tom Brady. He does that too. So it's okay for quarterback to do that.
I think when I was trying to tweet about it, my angle was that Drew Lock was a Chiefs fan, right? Like, he grew up a Chiefs fan, so of course he doesn't have respect for Broncos fans. I'm sure he likes being a Bronco, but do you think he's not going to take a chance to tell us to get out of here? I know I can't swear on here, so it's not really exactly what I'm going to say. Do you think he could tell us to get out of here? Go home, you jerk guy, face nerds. Of course he is. He's a Chiefs fan at heart.
I don't know who told you weren't allowed to curse, but as long as Mace's daughter isn't in the room, you're clear.
I wasn't sure. I err on caution.
I appreciate the consideration while she's here, but she's cleared now, so you can F-bomb away as far as I'm concerned.
let's move on to the next one here. Hopefully we have the... Okay, this is statements about Mitchell Trubisky. He's a damn... Okay, yeah, go ahead, Zach.
A, he's a damn good player. B, when you think you've got him down, you don't. He's one of the toughest quarterbacks to tackle. And C, I don't know what the hell they were thinking picking him so high.
And who said this?
People about Trubisky.
A Bronco coach or player said this.
Wow. If it was just people, I would say all of the above.
I mean, C has definitely been said.
Yes. Yeah. Man, I guess, well, okay. I feel like A is something you say just so people don't have a story, right?
Coach speak,
yeah,
right?
He's a damn good player. B, again, is very specific, and I have been picking specificity, so we'll go B.
Oh, guess two?
Oh, Brandon.
A, he's a damn good player.
Bingo. There you go.
All right. While we're on Mitchell Trubisky, we have another one of these that involves Mitchell Trubisky. So why don't we bring up that one? It's the Deshaun Watson one, Kale, if you can.
Ooh, guy we all like talking about.
Exactly. I was like, let's go to the Deshaun Watson, Mitchell Trubisky comps, and then we can get quick Deshaun Watson talk, or quick Mitchell Trubisky talk, and then straight to Deshaun Watson. All right. These are things said by Deshaun Watson about Mitchell Trubisky. Is it A, you're going to have to live with the consequences that come with drafting him over me? B, I think whoever drafts Mitchell will be getting a fantastic player. Or C, I don't know much about Trubisky, but I know I'm better.
And Watson said this?
Yes, these are Deshaun Watson quotes around draft time.
I would say, based on the type of character I have seen from Deshaun Watson, the answer is B. I think whoever drafts Trubisky will get a fantastic player.
That is incorrect.
Dang!
That's why I loved this one. It's actually A. You're going to have to live with the consequences that come with drafting him over me. And that got me fired up. It kind of reminded me of Drew Lock yelling at the fans on the sidelines. I want that energy in a quarterback.
Yeah, you just want Drew Lock to actually play like Deshaun Watson.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And Deshaun Watson absolutely made everyone who passed on him and for other quarterbacks in front of him live with the consequences. You're on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely do you think that it is that the Broncos get Deshaun Watson?
10 being highest?
10 being he's a Bronco.
Okay. How likely? 3?
Okay.
Yeah. Stop it. You're telling me there's a chance.
Yeah. There's a chance. It's going to be like what they're willing to give up for him. And I just don't know what that would be. I think if Elway was still in charge 100%, I would believe that the Broncos would be willing to give up a lot for him. I just don't know what George Payton's plan is. He might be aggressive, but even then you're competing with other teams who are going to be giving up a lot, and you cannot predict, or like the Rams going after Stafford when a team wants him. Like, they gave up way more than everybody else was offering. So I feel like even though the Broncos would have a chance, there's going to be a team there that has more to give up than them, is why it would make it hard. I think the Broncos would be very interested in him. I think he would play here. Like, we've seen all of the things that lead you to get a little excited about Deshaun Watson coming to Denver, and I think he'd be a good fit. And they have to keep Kareem Jackson because he's the number one recruiter of Deshaun Watson. And if they let him go, or is the deal done yet? They're still working on that with Kareem, like what they're going to do with him?
Haven't decided yet.
Yeah, still working.
Okay. So yeah, if Kareem goes, don't even plan on Watson coming, because we need that recruitment power.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Is this a situation where the Broncos' chances are enhanced the longer this goes on? Because if it happens now, like you said, other teams can give more. The Dolphins can give more. The Jets can give more. But if the Broncos can find a way to increase their future draft capital, then on the other side of this draft, the Broncos might be the team that can give the most.
That's a great point. I haven't thought about it that way. because you're going to assume that two of the top players, the Jets, well, the Dolphins, they should already have their guy in Tua, but they're going to waste some of their draft capital. The Jets are going to probably draft their quarterback, right? Mm-hmm. And then maybe like a team like the Panthers that you're worried about also draft their quarterback. And where the Broncos sit, if they don't take that guy or they don't try to move up to get him, which some teams might have to do to get their quarterback in this draft, then yes, 100% agree. That is a good point, and you just made me go from a 3 to a 4.
Let's go!
Yes.
We're on 4, baby. We're on 4.
I love it. So, Perna, one of the things I have to ask you is you talk about how teams may offer so much. What would be, in your mind, too much for the Broncos to offer to get Deshaun?
Nothing.
Yep. Okay. You fit right in. You fit right in here.
I am prepared for the Broncos to do a traditional Vikings human sacrifice to get Deshaun Watson, and I will offer myself as the sacrifice.
Whoa!
That's commitment to the people right there. That's why Brandon Perna is the man of the people.
I want to watch Deshaun Watson play for the Broncos so bad that I won't watch him.
I think I would make a similar sacrifice for the people.
Wow, all men of the people here.
Yeah.
You know what? Throw me in there too.
Let's go,
Brandon,
Mason. You're coming with.
I think Spano might be a little upset if both of you guys are gone.
The Broncos are finally good, but we sacrificed all of
our Broncos content here at DNVR.
So we just sacrificed 3 of us. Perna, are we up to a 5 yet?
Oh, I mean, human sacrifice. Let's go 9. Let's
go 9 out of 10, baby. Deshaun's a Bronco.
The only reason it's not a 10 is because the Texans are a wild card. That is the most batshit crazy organization in the NFL right now. And without the Texans, though, February would have been a very boring month on my YouTube channel. So thank you, Jack Easterby, for making Houston a fun team to cover because of the dumpster fire that they are right now.
Absolutely. Well, a couple things. Before we let Brandon go and all of his YouTube subscribers leave, if you're watching on his YouTube channel, we'd love if you watch the rest of the show over on our YouTube channel. Hit us with a subscribe, hit us with a thumbs up on there. That would be much appreciated. Also, Brandon, I have a feeling you're just like chomping at the bit to go to your YouTube channel so you can change the headline of this this post as fast as you possibly can.
Yeah, again, I said like we decided last second to stream this on my channel, so I didn't know YouTube star Brandon Perna and a game called 2 Lies and a Truth, 3 Ring Circus would be the title. I'm of course going to drop and a game called 2 Lies and a Truth and 3 Ring Circus and just leave YouTube star Brandon Perna as the title.
It's so good. I don't know why, but whenever I hear YouTube star Brandon Perna, I just think of like you and like Justin Bieber, like side by side, just hanging out at like a YouTube stars party.
At least like YouTube's like a legitimate thing now.
Yeah,
like people respect it as a way to make a living. But like a few years ago, saying YouTube star, it's contradictory, right? It's like,
it is.
What does that mean?
It's the younger generation. Like to my daughter, the biggest thing I do is this show on YouTube 3 times a week.
Yeah,
and she tells her friends, "My dad's on YouTube."
Oh, that's so dope.
Yeah,
that's so dope.
But that's where the world is going. So Brandon, you were ahead. YouTube. Yeah, you were ahead of the curve here.
Well, maybe we shouldn't curse then because Charlotte's friends are going to be Googling her dad.
Because they want to see her on camera since she got in. And so she's probably going to hear it on Monday at school.
I think Andrew's fine. Like, let's be worried about my 6-month-old daughter in a couple of years when she can search my past videos on YouTube. I've made parenting hard on myself.
Yeah, you have. Hopefully she doesn't find that video where you awkwardly like hump a table for 2 minutes.
Which one? That's how I'll explain like how babies are born though. So that one actually is educational, right?
It's useful, right?
Yeah, that's an educational video.
That's how smaller tables are born. I want to, while we're talking about YouTube star, one time the Buffs recruited a guy who didn't even play high school football, but he just made a YouTube video of him like doing things. Like it wasn't even like playing football. I guess he was like running routes, but like on air. But somehow he got offers from like Florida State, Colorado. He was this like really big tight end, but he never panned out. But he's also at the YouTube star party that I imagine Brandon being at.
Yeah, our secret YouTube party club.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't get invited.
Oh, come on! I had a picture of the Colorado celebrity party from South Park about 14 years ago when Jay Cutler and Jake Jabs like, oh, hey, look, that's Ron Zapolo.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
We got to get Perna in the next episode like that. And you could do the exact same scene where they see Jay Cutler, but this time it's Drew Lock, and they're like, "Hey, my dad said you kind of suck, but you might be good one day." All right, I think we're gonna let Perna go, and there we go. We got a Drew Lock one here. I guess that's a good way to finish things out. So here are the three options. A, I've been the good guy my whole life. Now I can finally be the bad guy. B, Kansas City is fine, but I've really grown to love Denver. Or C, my friends are going to be pissed when the Broncos come to KC and get a dub.
C's not true. Well,
damn.
I feel like A wasn't. I feel like I remember that A.
Yep. Ding, ding, ding. That was from a story I wrote about Drew Lock the day after he was drafted about being the villain, because of course he grew up in Kansas City or the Kansas City area, was always kind of the all-American boy there, hometown hero. And the story was he was supposed to come to Denver and be the villain to those people. He has not yet done that, but there's still time.
No, I mean, he's done it to the Chargers, so that's nice.
Yeah, all three of their fans, I'm sure, are really heartbroken.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to let Perna go, but we appreciate you coming on, and have a great rest of your day.
Yes, and keep watching over at DNVR on YouTube.
Thanks, Perna. Thanks, YouTube star.
Brandon.
There he was, YouTube star Brandon Perna in the flesh. All right, once again, we've gone way longer than we expected to in our first segment, but that's okay. The first segment was always great. So we're going to jump right into the red zone right now. Calling an audible here because we have our guy, Aaron Litvatsky, a.k.a. the OG MVP. And before we go too much further, I got to tell the story of what it means to be the OG MVP. Early in the BSN Denver days when we were, trying to get subscribers, we did a contest between all the beats at DNVR, at BSN at the time, trying to see who could get the most subscribers to join them. And at like 11:59 on the last day of the contest, Aaron became a member and won us the competition. So that's why he's the OG MVP, a long-time BSN DNVR member. We're happy to have you on, my guy. Oh no, he's muted.
Muted. That's a fitting way to join the show, I have to say.
Yeah, everyone wants to be muted by Zach. All right, let's see. Now do we have him? We got him.
Okay, I had to switch platforms here, so I was definitely prepared already for this.
All right, well, we're glad we got you here. Let's jump right in to the red zone. We'll do the first round here, and then I've got an ad read to hit. But let's do stage one here first.
Okay.
So Zach, he's been defeated once before. Can the OG MVP beat him this time?
I hope so. Mace, what are we dealing with here?
All right, let's get started. Question the first. In the last 5 years, 4 of the top 8 performances in receiving yards allowed by the Broncos to a single player, 4 of the top 8 have come from one player. Name him.
Emmanuel Sanders.
No, against the Broncos.
Against the Broncos.
Against
he's muted again. He's muted again.
Tyreek Hill.
It's not the answer.
That's not the answer.
Not the answer.
Oh, man.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah.
we got you.
Okay, sorry. I was trying to show you guys the classroom that I'm in at this point. So.
Where is your classroom?
In in Missouri here. We're as you can see, I got some Broncos swag here. My students, I already prepped them for the day. They knew that I was going to be on this. So
hey, that's dope. You're in enemy territory.
Right.
All right. Well,
okay, so it's not Tyreek.
Oh, Travis Kelce.
Correct.
Yeah. Speaking of enemy territory, I knew it had to be a Chief.
Yeah, literally.
Tyreek was my first guess.
Think about that. The 8 biggest single game receiving performances against the Broncos the last 5 years, and Kelce's responsible for half of them.
Yep.
Do you guys think Stranad is actually going to be able to get him covered up once he gets healthy?
I don't think anyone can cover him up, but I think that he's definitely going to help the cause. He's better than what the Broncos have out there now. So I don't think it's I don't think you're certain enough about it to not consider linebacker in the draft. But if you're left with those 3 guys at linebacker and maybe a later round draft pick, I think he can help.
What's so tough about Kelce specifically is it's not like he's this masterful route runner and he's the fastest tight end out there. He's just on the exact same page as Mahomes. So, I mean, a lot of his routes look like backyard routes where you kind of like run 5 yards and then turn around and you see, and then, okay, he's running, so I'm going to run 3 more feet and then catch the ball. I think Stranad, a very athletic, bigger guy, he can really help with the Darren Wallers of the world. And of course, the Travis Kelce, but that's just where Travis Kelce has killed the Broncos, is just with all the off-script stuff.
All right, May. So the 5th one of that is George Kittle. He's got to be on that list.
Yeah, he's actually number 1.
Yeah. There's got to be one Tyreek Hill game on there, no?
No, there isn't.
Oh, okay. All right.
Is there another tight end? Is this just full of tight ends?
You've named all the tight ends, but still, that means 5 of the top 8. And actually, if we say players other than the tight end, the 6 of the top 9 are tight ends or running backs, because Tevin Coleman comes in right there at number 9 back in 2016. That's the interesting thing. I don't think there's another team that has had 6 of the top 10 worst receiving games against them in the last 5 years have them come from positions other than wide receiver.
Robbie Anderson, one of them?
He's right there at number 10. 123.
Oh, okay. And you know what's crazy about that, guys, is in this span, it's not like the Broncos have had Mike McCoys and all these offensive minds. No, 2 defensive minds as the head coach.
Very true. All right, let's get to the next question here. Aaron, you got to get this one to stay alive.
Come on, all right, throw me a softball.
We're going back to the 2016 season. Who led the Broncos in rushing that year?
C.J. Anderson.
Yeah, that would be Ronnie Hillman.
Nope.
Oh my god. Justin Forsett.
No.
Are you freaking kidding me? Oh my gosh.
The day he was gone.
The name will surprise you. You'll be like, oh, he actually did lead the team in rushing.
Devontae Booker?
Yes.
Wow.
See, the chat's got to chill because we can see the chat. So if you drop the answer in the chat, then it gives Zach an unfair advantage.
I didn't even see. I just named literally the last.
I saw those eyes wandering over there.
You know who's a big Devontae Booker guy.
You admit to that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow. I say he gets one more chance here. Don't ruin it, chat.
All right.
If he gets this one, then he gets it. Then there's another question. If not, then it's a clean sweep for Zach.
Yeah. Maybe the thing is, this needs to be like the question needs to be hard enough to where people don't guess them. Maybe. Well, here we go.
We won't guess them.
Yeah. There are 2 opposing quarterbacks in the last 5 years who have thrown 3 interceptions in a single game against the Broncos. Name both of them. Or actually, the first one to get 1 will win.
Sam Darnold.
Nope.
No. Oh boy.
Derek Carr.
No.
Definitely
close.
Not.
He came close in week 17.
Week 17.
No,
Justin Herbert.
He came close in week 17.
Close.
Oh, right. Oh,
3
my
interceptions.
gosh.
Can you repeat the question real quick?
Yeah. 2 opposing quarterbacks have thrown 3 picks against the Broncos in a single game in the last 5 years. Name at least one of them.
Can this chat not take instructions? Do not guess in the chat.
Oh, I know one of them now.
Did Cam Newton have one?
No.
No. I know.
Phillip Rivers, thanks to the chat.
Crybaby Rivers.
All right,
Okay,
so
so there's one more.
There's one more, and
chat. If you ruin this, we're ending the show.
Okay,
right now.
so a little hint, Mace,
little hint,
or big hint.
First round draft pick.
Okay, bet.
Most quarterbacks.
Didn't last very long with the team that drafted him.
And this is just in the past 5 years?
Yes.
And
actually, specifically, it's in the Vance Joseph era.
Holy cow. First round.
Road game.
For the Broncos. They're on the road.
Broncos road game, although it didn't feel like a road game.
Oh.
Well, we already said Phillip Rivers. I mean, Chargers usually have more orange and blue than they do anything else.
There's another place that comes on this on the Broncos itinerary once every 8 years where they have an awful lot of fans.
Blake Bortles would always be a good choice.
Yeah.
Is the answer already ruined? Oh, Mountain Time Zone. Holy cow. This is
Rosen?
Yes.
Who is
Josh
it?
Rosen?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Holy cow, you're right. Wow.
Thank you. I at least have some respect with my students now.
Yeah, you got one.
Hey.
Right. I think
Mace beat me.
Yeah, he didn't beat him yet. Get that out of here. Mace, do you have another one you can pull off the top to settle the tie here?
He's got about 20 more.
Yeah, give me about 20 seconds here, and
the tie. Your boy's up 2-1.
No, you cheated, and again, the chat is trying to ruin this.
Maybe we should just blindfold Zach. He doesn't need to see to hear the question.
I need Zach to full screen. If you hover over the corner of the picture of us, you can go full screen. It will eliminate the chat.
I don't have the chat anymore. Yeah.
Nice. So now we're on an equal playing field.
I think Kale actually works some magic there to ensure that Zach doesn't get a hint here. All right.
Why do people think I'm cheating? What have I ever done to cheat?
It's not
in the words of Bobby Knight, if you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Yeah, it's not that you're cheating, but if the answer comes right in front of your face, it's gonna skew the result.
Why do you think this brain didn't come up with those answers?
I was watching your eyes as soon as I saw the chat get the answer in there. All right, you got one, Mace?
Yeah, I got one right here. This quarterback threw 2 touchdowns in a single quarter against the Broncos in 2019, and he's a quarterback who is almost certainly losing his job in the next several weeks.
Sam Darnold.
2019.
2019, 2 quarterbacks in the two touchdown passes in the third quarter of a game against the Broncos.
Alex Smith
in Denver, and he's almost certainly moving on.
Oh.
And he's been mentioned in this show.
Deshaun Watson?
Jameis Winston. No, I didn't play him.
Man.
He's young.
He's losing his job.
Oh my God.
He's young. Trying to go through the 2019 season. Who's a young?
We got to put Samuel in the chat and timeout. Keeps ruining it.
Don't worry, I can't see the chat.
All right,
another hint. Need a hint.
I'm rubbing my mustache.
Gardner Minshew.
Oh wow, that was close, but
Judge.
My birthday's coming soon.
I'm gonna say tie goes to the challenger.
We know that wasn't a tie, guys. We know that was not a tie. We'll review the tape.
We will review the tape, but we can play the rest of the game under protest.
Okay, yes, we'll do that. All right, Ryan. You're getting no benefit of the doubts here, Ryan.
I'm full screening mine so no one ruins it for me.
Kale, turn my chat back on. Let's see that. All right. Let's start with this one, guys. How long was Von Miller the highest paid defensive player in the NFL for after signing his massive contract in the summer of 2016?
1 month?
2 years.
I don't think it was even that long, was it?
Ryan got it. Okay. Ryan got it. 2 years. 2 years. And guys, here's the fun fact about that is that never happens. You are never the highest paid defensive or highest paid player on one side of the ball for 2 years. And Aaron Donald signed a bigger contract on August 31st, 2018. So after 2 years after Von Miller got that contract, Khalil Mack broke that 1 day later.
Wow. I'm thinking someone had just signed like right after him for that, but
Yep.
Yeah, you're thinking along the right lines because it never lasts.
No, it never does. All right, 1-0 Ryan. All right, here's another one. What former Charger did John Elway sign as a 1-year stopgap for Elvis Dumervil?
Okay.
Sean Phillips.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go.
I was trying to jump it with the tackle there.
All right. Well, it was a solid effort. We're gonna say for now that you got one stage through.
Boo.
Appreciate it, Shay, as I would like to say from my time in China there when I won the OG name there. So, and again, the story, if you guys have a second behind that, was I was literally on a road trip. I was listening to the podcast and I was like, you know what time is it? Oh, okay, I still have time to answer it. And literally signed in on the car ride in China in the afternoon, which is morning time here, and worked out. So
that's so awesome.
That is so cool. So cool. Thanks for riding with us, OG MVP.
Thank you guys as always. Mace, pleasure seeing you for the first time, talking to you guys. I'll see you.
Likewise. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
All right. That was fun. I love hopping in the red zone. Zach, we'll just have to check the tape. We'll
check the tape, guys. Not even close. I was saying Minshew when he was starting to say Gardner.
If
you gotta say the full name.
Are we hearing the M before the G, man? I
was saying Gardner. I already said Gardner, and then I was on to the Minshew part.
Okay.
All
All right.
Fair enough. All right, we're going to get to Mace's questions because I have some good ones today. We'll just see if he can get them. It'll be fun. But first, I want to give a shout-out to Breckenridge Brewery. It is, of course, a Breck Brew Friday. It's 11 o'clock here in Denver, but, what's to stop you? If you're off work, you might as well get going on some Breck Seltzies. I know I will be getting in on that tonight as we have Avs, Nuggets, Buffs, and I guess Rams also in action tonight. A quadruple header at the DNVR bar. For the first weekend night where we're actually open past midnight. So we're open till 1 tonight. The Rams don't play until 10 p.m. I thought the Buffs playing at 9:30 was late. Thankfully, we got that last call moved back just in time so we can hang out at the bar for the games. We'll be drinking Breck Brews. You should do the same whether you're with us at the bar or just hanging out at home. Of course, get in on all they have to offer by checking the Breck Brew locator on their website and enjoy you some Breck Brews tonight.
And if you need some extra money for a lot of Breck Brews to surround yourself with some good company, guys, check out our friends over at Gabby Insurance because they are all about savings in a very, very fast and convenient way. Guys, you go to Gabby.com/DNVR. The process takes you no more than 10 minutes. I did it myself just earlier this week. You enter all the information. It's just information off the top of your head. You don't have to go to your car and get the VIN number and reach into your insurance and get all those numbers. No, all you do, enter a few simple things for them, and then they search over 40 different insurance companies and to come up with the best rates for you. And guys, I'll tell you what, they came up with some very, very competitive rates for me just in 5 minutes. I spend hours looking over insurance claims. All it took was 5 minutes over at Gabby.com/DNVR. And another great thing about it, when you put in your information, your phone number, your email address, they don't then come over and sell that information to other people, and then you're getting hit up with all these spam calls and spam emails. No, I haven't gotten a single thing since signing up with Gabby. So make sure to check them out, Gabby.com/DNVR, to get the best insurance rates out there.
All right. You ready, Mace? You ready to enter the gauntlet here?
I am. I'm sorry. I was a little bit distracted first by my daughter coming in and then also by seeing some of Trey Lance's throws. Man, guy's got some easy gas on him. Throws fastballs and it looks effortless.
Yeah, I really love me some Trey Lance.
So does maybe George Payton, guys. He's there. He is on the field level, taking in today's Trey Lance performance.
He's right there on the field, and there's been a couple of camera angles I've seen where he's just been staring right at him.
As he should be.
He's watching him closely, guys.
A sight for sore eyes. All right. Here we go, Mace. I am going to start with what I believe is the easiest one.
Okay.
Much to the dismay of Pat Bowlen, when the Rocky Mountain News broke the news of the Broncos' new uniforms, the ones they're wearing currently, they compared the look to this team.
Chicago Bears.
Well, Zach beat Mace to the punch there.
The Mace. Love it.
Yeah,
I didn't know
it was a race.
I didn't know it was a race. I didn't know it was competition.
I'm not just letting Mace just control this out here. It's a competition.
I did not. Well, you got to tell me it's a competition before. I mean, come on, guys.
We'll give him a one.
Yeah, up 1-0.
Head start.
Up 1-0.
We'll give him a head start.
Hey,
here.
red zone's all about speed. You don't take your time in the red zone.
Right.
Well, no, but the game is actually over because. Well, anyway.
Okay, all right, Mace. Don't let Zach beat you this time. I don't think. I don't think he'll have this one.
Don't worry,
Zach
I would have got
feisty.
that one. I'm probably not going to
Zach
get
is
any other
feisty
ones.
today.
He is. Okay, in the middle of the 1962 season,
Yeah, I'm
the
not gonna get
Broncos
this one.
made a change to their uniform. What was the change?
They
Stripes.
changed the color of the numerals, not numerals. The logo on the helmet. It went from blue to white because white popped better on the orange helmet.
He is correct. It was close there. Almost went down the wrong path, but he saved it.
Yep.
It's like in a spelling bee. If you're like, it's BRO. Maybe not. Let me start over.
Yeah.
Okay. Last one here.
Okay.
The Denver Broncos have had 3 Heisman winners play for the team. Name all 3.
3 Heisman winners. Tim Tebow.
Correct. That's the only one Zach was going to get, so he's done.
Wow.
Ron Dane.
Rude.
Correct.
Oh man. Okay, the 3rd Heisman winner here. Okay.
Gotta go back.
Don't do it, chat. Don't you dare.
3rd Heisman winner here. Okay. No.
Would you like a
And
hint?
it has to be in the regular season, right?
Yes.
So it would not be Steve Spurrier then, who played in the 77 preseason.
Nope.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Hit us with the hint.
The hint is he played just 1 season for the Broncos.
Okay.
Just like Ron Dane.
Yeah. I was going to say there's a lot of guys that played just one season for the Broncos. All right. Okay. Tony Dorsett.
Got it.
Yes!
Nice.
My next clue is going to be probably a giveaway for you. I'm sure you've heard the story, or maybe not. I was going to say that he alerted Steve Atwater to the fact that he was going to be starting. Which is pretty cool. Steve came into the locker room and he said, "Hey, you're the starter." He was like, "What?"
But the thing, and imagine hearing it, because Dorsett, of course, Hall of Famer, he'd won a Super Bowl with Dallas. I mean, imagine hearing news like that changes your professional life, and hearing it from somebody who is really in the 1980s, one of the truly great players in the game, one of the top probably 15 players in the NFL over the course of that decade. That is amazingly cool to have the news come from someone like Tony Dorsett.
Right. I mean, you're right. Like that's essentially like getting it from Von Miller nowadays or someone along those lines.
Right.
The thing is, I was trying to go back. I was like going through literally in my mind, I'm going through every Heisman winner, like Johnny Rodgers, no, Pat Sullivan, no, on and on. And then finally I landed on Dorsett. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Going back to the first question, it was Sam Adams who broke the story for the Rocky Mountain News that the Broncos were changing their uniforms, and they used a picture of the Chicago Bears in the story because they didn't have, a picture of the new uniforms. And as Sam tells the story, Pat Bowlen called them up and said, "We're not going to look like the goddamn Bears."
Except, I mean, they had it with the side panel. They didn't, but the number font is not dissimilar, and the navy blue and orange. I think Sam had a point there.
And I think Sam says it actually wasn't even his decision. Like, it was just the editorial staff just said, like, "Oh, okay, orange and blue. Like, I guess we can just use a picture of the Bears."
By the way, speaking of uniforms that look like the Bears, have you seen some of the Bengals mock-ups that have been kind of floating out there right now?
Well,
no, looks like the Bears.
How does this keep happening where the uniforms just show up in stores before they're released?
That's how it happened. That's how it's released.
Yeah, people just keep taking a picture of in a Dick's Sporting Goods. Like that happened with the Nuggets earned jerseys. Someone was just like, "Oh, like look at this," and then it happened with the Bengals too.
Yeah.
I actually kind of like the Bengals, but apparently the fans are very upset.
Yeah, I don't mind it, and certainly it's a more muted look than they've had, and that's what they needed. The only problem is it's the number font. It is almost exactly a carbon copy of the Chicago Bears. And of course, navy blue and black are very close, and they both have orange. And so you see, and you're like, okay, it's kind of Bears-ish. I mean, I actually like they have like 3 tiger stripes on the shoulders. I like that element and on the uniform. I just wish they'd come up with either an original font or they just said, okay, we're just going to go with traditional block numbers and move on.
Yeah, I think Bears fans need to relax. Not everyone's trying to look like them.
Well, when the best thing about your franchise is the uniform, you cling to it like grim death.
Certainly no one wants to look like them on the field.
Yeah.
That is for sure. And as like the quote said earlier, they are paying the price dearly for not drafting Deshaun Watson.
Yes, they are.
All right,
as Deshaun Watson told them.
Yeah, because I forgot to do an ad read in the first segment. We are going quick back-to-back ad reads here, but we'll go quick. The Colorado Exos, they're 1-1, and it's actually a really cool experiment that they're doing here. They're taking former professionals from all over the sporting world, whether it's baseball, basketball, football, soccer, and teaching them to play rugby. These are people who are interested in rugby, and they're trying to see, can we take great athletes from other sports, turn them into great rugby players, and have them make the U.S. national team? That is what the Colorado Exos are. They're 1-1 on the season, so they got a dub in their first game. They fell back a little bit in the second game, but I think this is a really cool story to follow, just to see how this ends. You know, you could end up with the next great American rugby star coming from the Colorado Exos. So make sure you check out the DNVR Rugby podcast with our guy Colton Strickler. And follow this story because I think it's going to have a really cool ending. That's just my personal prediction, is that this story comes out pretty cool. So check them out. Check out the DNVR Rugby podcast every day. And tune in to DNVR Bets Daily for our rugby picks of the week that are presented by our friend Colton Strickler.
And also make sure to check out our friends over at DraftKings Sportsbook. Guys, conference tournaments, we're in the thick of them right now. March Madness tips off in 6 days, and DraftKings Sportsbook is the best place to get in on that. And to celebrate the madness that's going down, they are offering $4 bet to win $256. So here's what you have to do. Go into DraftKings Sportsbook, and they've got so many options of underdogs you can bet on. Pick one underdog, bet $4 on them in select games. And if they win, you win $256. That's 64-1 odds. That is pretty darn good. Make sure to check out our friends over at DraftKings for this incredible offer. And of course, if you want to get in on some hockey or some NBA basketball, they have that as well on daily, a great daily odds boost as well. But guys, the tournament is going to be so much fun over at DraftKings Sportsbook. So head over to the App Store now, download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now, and use promo code DNVR when you sign up to turn $4 into $256 if the underdog of your choice pulls the upset. That's code DNVR to turn $4 into $256 only at DraftKings Sportsbook for a limited time only. Must be 21 or older, Colorado only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
I'm excited about the tournament, but boy, that news about Virginia this morning, they're opting out. They have to leave the ACC tournament because of a top positive test. And if you're going to play in the tournament, you've got to have 7 consecutive days of all negative tests. So we're looking at a situation where that tournament might not even have the defending champion.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is crazy. A really lame outcome for them.
Yeah.
But, you know, when one door opens, or one door closes, another opens. It'll be, one of the bubble teams who hasn't got to experience that might get in.
Maybe it helps CSU. There you go. And maybe it opens the door just a little bit for CU to have a path to the nirvana they've never experienced before, which is the Final Four.
Man, I just want the Pac-12 championship, like whatever happens after that would be gravy. If we get these next 2 dubs, which the door is wide open, they've beaten both of these teams. They've beaten all of these teams. The only teams left in their path: USC, Oregon State. They beat them all. We know they're capable of it. USC, who they get tonight, they beat both times. And of course, this will be the last thing I say. Andy Enfield was named Pac-12 Coach of the Year, despite the fact that Tad Boyle beat them both times this year. If they beat them a third time tonight and eliminate them from the Pac-12 tournament, I'm going to be on one. I'm just telling you that.
Does Tad Boyle just go across the court and take the trophy from him?
Well, I just think everyone needs to retroactively change their ballots.
Yeah, certainly. Man, I can't wait for the tournament, guys.
I can't either, and it's going to be a great time. And speaking of things kind of like tournaments, we've got another little competition here that I am very, very excited for. This will be how we finish things today.
Hot Pocket.
We've done the Pop-Tart draft, and now it's time for the great Hot Pocket draft. Okay, it was Zach who had the last pick last time. I guess if we
you had the first pick last time,
right? So I'll have the last pick this time.
Okay.
Mace stays in the middle, and then next time we'll figure out a new order in which Mace goes first.
Okay. So I'm on the clock.
I love this. Look at Kale's ready to update the draft board in real time.
Okay. So has the draft begun? Is Zach and with the first pick and the great Hot Pocket draft, Zach selects the only flavor he's ever had.
No.
Ham and cheese.
No.
Yeah, the crowd goes wild. No booze from the crowd.
Oh, that's so disappointing because I'm the one who bought that for you.
Yes, you are. You introduced it to me.
2 years ago, I spited my own self by giving you the experience of a ham and cheese.
Yes, you did. Oh man, thank you for that, Ryan. Yes, so a good pick, huh? Because every single other pick I've ever done in these has been booed.
Your first good pick. Congratulations.
Oh, yes, I hit with the first overall.
Hey.
All right. With the second pick in the 2021 Hot Pocket draft, I select pepperoni pizza.
Yes. Just that's 1-2, right?
Yeah,
I think so. Jameis Mariota.
Darn. I mean, that's why I wanted the number 2 pick, because that was going to be my pick. And that's literally the only flavor I've had.
I love how we're doing a Hot Pocket draft. 2 people here have only ever had one Hot Pocket.
Well, it's time to get creative. Mace, who are you going with?
That's why I thought maybe I misheard. I thought I was drafting second again. So I mean,
shoot.
Yeah.
Well, I just went by the order that we had in front of us.
I didn't even know we had an order set for this.
I guess I jumped Mace. That's kind of my bad.
So yeah. So actually, we should be like, yeah. Anyway. Well, I'm gonna have to deviate my draft plan because the draft order got deviated here.
That's my fault.
Yeah,
Mace, you thinking the cheeseburger with crispy buttery?
Now, are we talking about the regular pepperoni or the premium pepperoni with garlic buttery crust?
Crust don't count. I don't think.
Yeah, I was talking standard, but it would be. I mean, there's no rules in these drafts.
All right, I'm gonna go. There's a meatballs and mozzarella that I'm looking at.
Okay, that's good job.
Yeah,
good job.
And I'm just thinking now. I'm thinking, okay, this is what I want to try,
mm-hmm.
Right.
And that's why I'm gonna say meatballs and mozzarella sounds actually doable.
Yeah, that does sound good. That does sound good. All right, Mace, you're up again with the snake draft.
All right, if I can't get pepperoni pizza, I'm going for the 4-cheese pizza.
Oh, okay. So sticking along the Italian food theme here.
Yeah, I'm not sure about beef taco, and I can't do cheesesteak, guys. I'm sorry, I just have such high standards for cheesesteaks. And even in Denver, we've got some really good cheesesteak spots. I mean, they may not pass Allie's test because she's Miss Philadelphia here, but in general, we're an above average cheesesteak town, and I can't have a Hot Pocket cheesesteak and feel good when I can go to Denver Ted's.
Someone in the comments said, "Choose a fruit one, Mace."
Oh, come on.
Great one, Samuel.
I believe they call those toaster strudels.
Yes, that is true. Hot Pockets and Pop-Tarts are basically the same thing, I just realized. Okay. I guess with my second pick here, you can really never go wrong mixing these things. I'm going chicken bacon cheddar. Chicken bacon cheddar.
Have you seen the pictures on those?
Yeah, I've pictured it in my mouth.
Okay. Okay. Oh, that's not the broccoli one, is it?
No.
Okay.
I the broccoli ones aren't bad, but I just, I know my audience. I'm not picking frozen broccoli in my Hot Pocket. That's gonna lose people.
Yeah, and that's what I'm doing with this next pick, guys, is going for the audience choice here. Mace, anyone who picks up a Hot Pocket isn't thinking I'm going to get the best, ham and cheese sandwich in the world. They're not thinking I'm going to get the best pepperoni pizza in the world, the best mozzarella meatball sandwich. No, they just want something good, and that is what the Philly cheesesteak Hot Pocket comes through with. So give me Philly cheese for the second overall pick. And Kale, we can just mute Mace and Ryan's response to this. Well, we don't need to hear from the peanut gallery on this one.
Hey, we already heard what RK was shaking his head furiously. No. I mean, we don't need to hear because he's already had the visual response that says, let's stay away from Philly cheesesteak.
I'm going to let you guys in on a secret. Avoid all of the ones with steak. The way that they whatever that thing that they put in there is nothing like steak. It's a little bit slimy, and it's just not. It's not gonna hit right. I promise you, it's not gonna hit right. So that's why you avoid the cheesesteak or anything else involving steak. I guess I just gave you a hint for your next pick, but I just had to say it.
Looking at the pictures of that doesn't look the most appealing. Well, guys, we're really running out of flavors here. I mean, with how simple they are. So I'm gonna go with one that just packs so many flavors. I'm gonna go with one with 8 different flavors in it.
Oh my gosh.
It's not as crazy as you think, though. It is the 4 cheese and 4 meat pizza.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
Yes. We're just, anything, it has all the fillers in it. It has all the real meat. It has all the fake meat, everything. Give that to me.
I've never heard of that one, but I wouldn't put it past them. I'm glad you didn't take mine. We are really low on options here. So I guess I wanted to diversify my portfolio here a little bit, but I can't put the broccoli in there. It's just It's not going to land with the people. So I am going to choose the pepperoni and sausage pizza.
Okay.
Pepperoni and sausage.
Yeah. So what I did with my pick before was I just took those 2 and put 6 other delicious flavors with it.
Yeah, so what other meats are in yours? I'm concerned. Is there steak? Because then it's a bad pick.
Yeah. You know what? I shouldn't have looked at the first sentence, or maybe I should have looked at the first sentence. Hamburger is the filler.
Oh, no.
I'm just sticking with my number 1 choice, guys. Ham and cheese is going to carry me. It's like getting a good quarterback. That'll carry you.
Ham and cheese could take you a long way. And you know what? If people haven't had the Hot Pockets, they might really think the Philly cheesesteak sounds good. 4 cheese meat. You're kind of banking on ignorance.
I'm playing to the people. This is the people's choice draft. It's the only way I'm going to win these guys.
Well, because the people's choice was not the ice cream flavors on Pop-Tarts.
Wow.
Definitely
yeah.
not.
Sorry.
I followed my taste buds there. They led me astray.
I can't believe no one's brought up a breakfast flavor yet.
Yeah, I don't like the breakfast ones.
Okay, yeah. Breakfast is hard to screw up.
Do we get fruit in this one?
No. Applewood bacon, egg, and cheese seems really hard to mess up. Yeah.
I don't know, guys. A frozen egg that is then cooked in a microwave? No, I can't do it.
Have you ever had... Well, wait a second. I mean, I've had I've had frozen breakfast, literally since I was about 10 years old. And I'm not saying the eggs are like when I fix them fresh myself, but they're fine. They do the job. You put some cheese and bacon in there, and you've got it inside the crust. It's fine. It's fine. Maybe this is sort of like the Philly cheesesteak. It's just fine. You're not going to retch. You're not going to throw up and all that. No, I just have high standards for cheesesteaks. I'm sorry.
So with the last pick in the draft, that's what it comes down to, is you're not going to throw up.
Yeah, that's it.
We're talking about Hot Pockets here.
Draft here.
I mean, what is that? You guys have seen the Jim Gaffigan sketch, Diarrhea Pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flush Pocket.
So what we're learning here is that there's really not that many options here. We all chose at least one version of pizza.
Just depending on how many meats you want.
Yeah, I ended up with 2 pizzas. But I don't know. Mace, for having the 3rd pick, I think you put together a strong performance here. If I had to handicap it, I'd make you the favorite.
Well,
wow.
I think you're the favorite, RK, because and Aaron Litvak, he mentions it in the conversation. Pepperoni it's what you think of when you think of a Hot Pocket. It's the standard.
See, I always thought ham and cheese was the standard.
And guys, I'm not gonna lie, I think I'm the favorite here. I mean, someone's got to be pulling for me. You guys are pulling for each other. It's just a gang up on Zach.
Oh man, this has been a fantastic episode. Give us ideas of what we should draft next. We have plenty, but sometimes the people have the best ideas of what we could draft next. I'm trying to think of like other themes that have popped up on this show. There was a Hot Pocket era. There was the Pop-Tart era. There's got to be another era.
Cereal.
The blood sausage era.
Yes, the dishwasher salmon area.
Yeah, those don't really survive on their own.
We could forget the OG burger restaurant debates that happened.
Oh, yeah, we could do that one next.
Yes, I love it.
I love it too. Okay, before we get out of here, I want to give a shout out to Green Mountain Dental Group, locally owned, hometown family dentistry office that'll really take care of you, really treat you like you are family. So make sure you check them out if you need to. Straw holes. I don't think
that's what I'm laughing at. I'm sorry.
It's a three round draft: 1 hole, 2 holes, or no holes.
Yeah.
Anyways, Green Mountain Dental Group, where you can get the best dentistry in the metro area, just 15 minutes outside of Denver. So check them out and make sure you join their family, because they're part of our family. So that is going to wrap it up for us on another episode of 3 Ring Circus. Thanks so much for Brandon Perna for joining us. Thank you to you guys for another great week on the show. And everyone have a great weekend.